Overall, it is essentially flat from last month. However, that does obscure some pretty substantial movements within the population. First of all, election news has been really dominating the headlines, and we see that in our data. Sentiment for Democrats improved 6% this month, but this ended up being offset by a 5% decline for Republicans. And these movements were entirely in expectations, which is sensible given that election developments, Kamala Harris becoming the new nominee for the Democrats, is not something that affects current assessments, but is something that affects people's outlook for the future.
And how can we expect that to evolve as we get closer to the election, since we are still only in mid-August?
It's going to be volatile, or that's what I would expect. So far, consumers are really folding in who they think is going to win the election. But of course, as the campaign season evolves, people's expectations for the election are going to change. And as such, their future expectations for the macroeconomy will as well.
What are some of the other things that you noticed, just in terms of either future expectations or current conditions, I should say, which did improve?
Yeah, current conditions really didn't move much at all. And if anything, it edged down just a little bit. Consumers continue to be very frustrated by high prices. That continues to be top of mind. At the same time, consumers do expect inflation to continue stabilizing. They weren't really reacting to a CPI print or any data that came out this month. They were really already folding in their experiences throughout the month, their own experiences shopping and seeing the prices around them.
And just looking at the report, so we see 35% of respondents expect unemployment rate to rise in the coming year. Growing number expect interest rates to pull back. How does that kind of impact consumer sentiment and kind of where we could be in the coming months?
So consumers aren't really that concerned right now that labor markets may be softening. So the 35% expecting unemployment rates to go up, that's unchanged from last month. So that's pretty stable. Income expectations have edged up, improved just a little bit, or have gone sideways. There's no weakening in consumer views of labor markets in August. That being said, strength in labor markets is precisely what has supported robust consumer spending over the last 2 years, in spite of the fact that consumers don't feel like they're thriving. And so if there is some unraveling in labor markets, some softening in labor markets, I would expect consumers to pull back.
All right, Joanne.
That being, yeah.
Oh, no, finish up. Sorry.
Yeah, and part of the reason why that consumers, I think, feel some confidence about labor markets is that they do expect interest rates to come down in the year ahead.